And we are back. Pokemon Pearl, Hardcore Nuzlocke, the run continues here. We have made it to Commander Jupiter right after the second gym, and we're just going to take out the Zubat, and it has Giga Drain and almost one-shots our Geodude. Absolutely ridiculous. I was just planning on using Magnitude to one-shot the Skuntank, no problem there, but then this happened, so we had to shuffle around a little bit. And because of that level cap of the second gym, her Pokemon are under leveled, so I didn't even really think anything of it. And it was just crazy that the Zubat there had the Giga Drain. So we send out Kamizuki the Machop and see if we can kind of tank this out. Some Smokescreen comes down, is an annoyance. The Citrus Berry also helps out a little bit here. The Skunk is really trying to avoid some karate chops here, and it's doing a great job. And we finally break through and finish off the Skuntank. So Jupiter, a little bit, of an annoyance there, but we managed to get out without losing anybody. And now we are on to some first encounters in between the second and third gym. All right, for our Route 206 encounter, it is the Ponyta, one of the few fire types in this game. You got Pokemon Pearl, Diamond, and Platinum with only a handful of fire types, which does make Infernape very, very special. So if you do go for the fire starter, completely understandable, but no problems there. Easy catch, easy addition to the team. Now for the Wayward Cave encounter, it is going to be the Bronzer, same typing as your Metagross, and with the Psychic Steel. And this is a beefy boy, so we're just going to hit the Seismic Toss on it, chunk it down, and I do believe we just spam some Pokeballs until it is willing to join the squad here. Don't want to risk any critical hits. It's really good to secure any encounters, even if you don't want to use them. I remember doing a Soul Link with my friend Connor, and it's just like we would run into the grass and get an encounter that I didn't really want. So I would just be a little bit disappointed, and then I would risk the critical, and half the time I would end up critting it and killing it. And he's like, just because we're not going to use it doesn't mean you have to kill it. So Bronzer is added to the squad there. All right, quite a few encounters here for the Route 208. It is going to be the Psyduck, and although I don't really envision using a Golduck for the team, again, it's really nice to secure any and all encounters you get, because then in another area, there might be other Psyducks there, so eliminating this encounter will make it easier to get any encounter that you want in that specific area, so we will take that. So I'm just here in Hearthome City wondering where I go next, and then our rival just shows up and wants to fight. So I didn't have the movesets prepared, or I didn't even know what he was working with, but much like the Jupiter fight, his levels are a lot lower. So again, shouldn't have too many issues here. We've got the Machop out, and I'm like, what should we swap into the cute little Starly? And it looks like we go with the Graveler. No problem there. It gets a really nice Endeavor off, actually, doing the most amount of damage it possibly could have to our big rocky friend. The Rosalia comes down, and I'm not willing to risk a 4 times effective grass move, so we go to Mahiru, the Staravia, get an Intimidate, doesn't really matter, Mega Drain, a little bit of chip damage there, and then we lean into the Wing Attack, taking out the Rosalia. So only 2 Pokemon left. The Otter comes down, and we swap into our starter here. And let's see what Yuichiro goes for. We go for the Razor Leaf, eat another quick attack, no problem. Get rid of the cute little Sea Otter, and the Monferno comes down, and I actually pivot into the Graveler, thinking Monferno is just a basic fire type, and completely forget about the fighting threat. And thankfully it doesn't crit, and we don't get punished too hard for that. And again, if his levels were a lot higher, it would have been a little bit scary there as well. So I just pivoting, get an Intimidate off of the Staravia, and then we one-shot? We absolutely one-shot with the Wing Attack. So that does it for, I believe that was our second or third rival fight in this run. So really good stuff there, and we might have 1 or 2 more encounters before the third gym battle. You do receive an egg in Hearthome City from a traveler, and it is going to be a baby Pokemon, that being Happiny of the Blissey and the Chansey line. So we will take that. All right, for our Route 209 encounter, it is going to be the baby Bonsly here, the Pseudo Voodoo line, and it's definitely giving my big beaver some issues here with the low kicks, so we're going to swap into Yuichiro and just secure this, and that will be yet another encounter in between the second and third gym. All right, then the Lost Tower encounter. It is a Ghastly. We catch it with the Great Ball at 1 HP. And then in Salacian Ruins, we get the Unown encounter here. Just a massive, massive encounter. Cannot wait to add this to the team. It's going to be my new starter, and we are going to beat Cynthia's Garchomp with it. I am just so excited. Let's do it. Unown. Let's go. Then in Route 210, we are graced with the presence of this Kricketune. We knock it down into the red with a Razor Leaf. A little bit risky there, but no problem. We catch it with the Pokeball. One more encounter. And last but not least, Route 215, we get the Abra encounter. This is actually the second Abra encounter in this run. And unfortunately, I don't have a Sleep Powder or a Thunder Wave or a Confuse Ray. I don't have anything like that to potentially outspeed and stop the Abra from teleporting. We go all in on the Great Ball, and it pops out. It looks like the second Jiggle there. So very unfortunate, but that will do it as far as encounters go. Let's go beat that third gym leader. All right, so for the third gym leader battle here, we got Maylene and her 3 Fighting-type Pokemon. The team is looking pretty darn good, if you ask me. Got everybody leveled up to the Lucario level here. And pretty straightforward game plan. We have 2 flying types with Intimidate, so we're going to lean heavily into that. And then if things go awry, we can pivot into the Gastrodon. We can pivot into the Machoke. We don't have to all in on one Pokemon sweeping, although I do enjoy when that happens because it just really seals the deal and you don't have to worry about a bunch of stuff going wrong. But the Meditite comes down. Here we go. We throw out our Staravia, and we get the Intimidate. Not going to be too much of an issue there since it can lean into its special attack as well. But because I'm foreseeing a Detect, because Meditites love to do that, and it also might go for a Meditate to raise its attack, let's go for a double team. And it does not. So if it uses Drain Punch or Confusion, I'm gonna get punished so hard for that. And it does go for the Meditate. Okay, so good stuff. We trade some evasion for its attack being Rose, but I think if we can just one-shot it with the Aerial Ace, it doesn't really matter. And now that double team might pay off against the Machoke or Lucario. So let's see if that has any bearing on the rest of the fight. So here is the Machoke. He comes down level 27, and I am a little bit nervous. If he had Revenge and we don't kill with Aerial Ace, that could be really scary. I think some of the trainers leading up to her had that, so we had to watch out for that. But I think we just all in on the Aerial Ace, thinking he's going to go for a Rock Tomb for the super effective damage there. So we get him over half health, really good stuff. He actually goes for a Leer, and we avoid the Leer because of the double team. That is pretty ridiculous. So we are looking really good right now. Staravia popping off, and now Lucario, the final Pokemon here, Maylene's ace, and we get the level up as well. That's nice. And now Lucario comes down, an absolute stud muffin of a Pokemon. And let's see here. So Lucario has Drain Punch, Force Palm, Metal Claw, and Bone Rush. So Bone Rush can't hit us. Drain Punch and Force Palm hit for neutral. Really good fighting type moves. And then Metal Claw hits for neutral as well. So I think we're good. The Leer didn't even get off from the Machoke. So I think we just go in for a neutral Aerial Ace and see how much damage that does. And I think we're fine. Like, I guess we could be scared of a one-shot critical, but let's see what happens here. So if this crits, do we lose our bird? Okay, so I think we would have actually. I really shouldn't have risked that. So real quick, let's just pivot into the Gyarados, get an Intimidate. I think that'll help out a lot going against this Lucario since he hits so hard. And goes for a Metal Claw this time. Let's see if he gets the attack buff. Gets a critical on the Gyarados, unfortunately. Let's lean heavily into the Dragon Rage and see how much damage that does. The Lucario is faster as well. We got to keep that in mind. But the Drain Punch is not very effective. So how much does Dragon Rage do? It does right there. Now, what we can do is we can Dragon Rage again. It's going to pop the Citrus Berry, and that potentially might get Lucario out of not full restore, but potion range. And Gyarados is really tanking these Drain Punches with the Intimidate as well. So even if Lucario crits, I think we're outside of crit range. We're outside of losing Gyarados to that critical hit. So I think we go for one more Dragon Rage here, barring a paralysis from the Force Bomb. We dodge the paralysis, the Dragon Rage comes down, and the Lucario falls. A little bit all over the place with that fight, but we did it. We have secured the 3rd gym badge. We have 5 gym battles to go. Let's do this thing. As always, thank you so much for your time. I really, really do appreciate it, and I will catch you on the flip. Peace.